Hello everybody, my name's Chris Ward and I'm one of the product managers for Siemens Control Product Business. And in this worked example I want to show you the functionality of the high feature 3RW55 soft starter, specifically the switching frequency monitoring capabilities. So the whole idea behind that is that essentially what you get is you can monitor the motor and how frequently it's started. So the idea behind that is that it can cause the motor to overheat if you're switching the device regularly. So the soft starter monitors the switching frequency in order to adhere to the wait and the cooling down times. But that also affects the soft starter's thermal model as well. So not only are you protecting the motor, but you're protecting the soft starter as well. And this is a specific feature which is designed into the 3RW55. So I'm not going to go into the specifics of how to parameterize a soft starter from top to bottom. If you do want something like that, please refer back to one of my previous videos. In this example, I just want to demonstrate the function switching frequency monitoring and how to utilize it. So if we go into the soft starter configuration here, go to parameters, go into the soft starter, we'll minimize this window down, go to parameter set 1, condition monitoring, and as you can see here, we have an option for condition monitoring, switching frequency monitoring, which is just here. There's a few different options here which we can choose from. Switching frequency monitoring mode, this is the main part of it. This is how it reacts. And what you're actually monitoring between the switching times. So there's two different options here. We've got on and off-on. So that refers to the T1 time. So on would be, it would monitor the time between two on signals between T1, and that is the limit that you put on it for T1. Whereas if you're going for off on, it would monitor for T1 between the off and the on signal for T1, and you can set the limit from anything up to this value here. So for this example, we might want the switch from frequency monitoring time to be between two on signals to be, or an on-off signal to be, say 10,000. We might want that to be, we might want it to measure the on-on or the off-on. We'll go for off-on for this. So when there's a soft starter command that's been switched off, the time between the monitoring of the on signal will be 10,000 seconds. This time here, T2 below, is the number of times that the device can be started within a specific time frame. So how many times do we want it to start? So obviously it has to be greater than this 10,000 seconds, and we can have that anything up to this value here. We could say, for example, that could be, I don't know, we'll go for 65,000. And then we could also decide now how many starts do we want in that T2 time. We would want, say, 15 starts. So the idea with that is what you're doing is you're setting the parameters here so that we don't exceed any of these values between the off and the on signal for T1. And then we're saying how many times do we want the device to switch in this specific time frame for T2. And the number that we've selected is 15. Then we say, okay, how do we want that to react? Let's have a little look at that. So we've got turn off without a restart, turn off with a restart, warning without a lock. So there's a few different options there. So turn off with restart is the first one. So that will trip automatically and it'll acknowledge it. So if no monitoring time is still active, you can basically press the on command and everything will be okay. But if you go for turn off without a restart, the trip will have to be acknowledged. So the idea is you'd have to press the reset key on the HMI to ensure that you've acknowledged the fault before you initiate a start. This next one here, warning without a lock. So the warning without a lock is basically if an on command for the motor is issued and any of these timers have been breached, you would get a warning, but you won't be locked out. Similarly with the warning with a lock. with a lockout. What you actually get with that is it won't allow you to initiate a start if either T1 or T2 is still active. So there's a few different options which you can choose from there. I would particularly go with the acknowledgement one here. So turn off without a restart, and then once you've configured this parameter, then you can download that into the soft starter, and you'll have a fully functional switching frequency monitoring capability. So I really hope you found the video useful on how to use that function. And please stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.